coincidence that that when I learned that he also had a nice Viking ship, we both were on a raid to Britain, as one does in the summer,
Of course.
and it happened that a rather larger size patrol of Brits happened upon my crew as we were raiding the local monastery and stealing all the monks' stuff, as one does. And we sort of would have been in really dire straits if it weren't for the fact that another Viking party happened upon us, Olaf and his crew, and we fought off the Brits and raided the town and split up all the loot amongst us and sort of were battle brothers at the moment.
Yeah, let
I
me
like
ask
it.
privately, how do you feel about Olaf Olafsson? What was his competence like in battle?
I think he was a very competent man, and I definitely trust his battle abilities, but you know, I want
You
to
might
make
want to
sure that
Yeah,
reserve
given
some.
that
You
this
might
is a
want to
role-playing
reserve some
game.
of that until after I describe my character, because it might change some of your feelings.
No,
yeah,
his interpretation and how you see your character can be two very different things, but both
Right,
can
but
be
I
true.
haven't described my character yet.
We'll see. Here's what I'd like though: is for him to be like, you're so super competent, you're a battle brother, and then you like die in the first 30
Yeah.
seconds of the show. You're like, I
yeah,
want to attack a man, and then you
Right.
start
and then he
failing
gets killed.
rolls.
I'm
Yep.
like, he seems good and all, but I want to maintain him as an ally because I'm gunning for a position where eventually I'm gonna need a lot of support. So I'm gonna do my best to keep him my friend. I definitely don't want to fight this guy.
Okay, interesting.
And then I've got two more,
Yep.
and let's see. There, uh, what should I pick? Of course, we need to pick someone whose affection I covet. Let's say that I'm getting along in my years. I and it would really strengthen my position if I were to build a proper household and get some
Of
uh,
course.
get some proper lineage going, get some heirs and the like. And there's a Gode from a not slightly further away location whose daughter I would like to marry, but currently, he's like, no way, man. You're just
Yeah,
you
the
couldn't
family makes the
possibly support.
decision. The bride can say yes
Yeah,
or no, but it's the family that.
the family makes the
Yeah.
decision, and she's also like, still she's kind of high strung, high maintenance, and would be happier if I was actually the Gode, and she'd rather marry the Gode of this place rather than just some Viking dude.
Of course. What was her
Yeah.
name again?
Uh, Laura Ingolfsdóttir.
And that is that Ingalls or Ingrid's daughter?
Ingolf. Laura. I'm not sure Laura is a good name for 900 Iceland though. Might need to change that.
That's okay. It's our Iceland in our
Yeah.
brains. Okay, so
And for the fourth one, there's going to be Sigmundur Ingolfsson, her brother, who has insulted me after I showed interest in her that I'm no good for her, and he really doesn't like me and is really protective of his sister, and we might sort of get into it at some point if I if I don't manage to outmaneuver him or something. So to set up a little bit of tension, set up a little bit of fun opportunities.
What is your
So
relationship with him?
he's insulted me. He just, first when I came around and,
All right.
it was, went over for dinner. There was some sort of meeting between the two households. I showed interest in his sister, and he was like, you really, you
Oh,
know,
you think you're good enough to
enough for
marry my sister?
sister. Yeah,
Of
their
course.
household is like a little bit bigger and a little bit more respected than the one I come from, and I'm just I'm the guy that's his man, his Carl. I'm not that high class, and he's just like, really, if you were the guy, I'd laugh a little bit less, but you're not even him. You're just nobody, man. You like my sister? I mean, don't make me laugh.
All right. Just to be clear, his name is Simon der
Simon de
Ingoldsson.
Ingolson. Yeah,
Okay.
his
And he is the brother of Laura Ingoldsdottir.
yeah.
Okay. So make sure you have these written down. At the beginning of this session and every session, you gain one bond with everyone you have a relationship with, which you can spend using certain moves, including one of the cup. More importantly, anytime you use a move that targets someone you have a relationship with, you mark XP towards advances. So there's basically two ways to get advances: survive a winter in Iceland and make XP.
Yeah, that's surviving a winter in Iceland is not, an automatic success.
Yeah.
All right, who would like to go next? Let's hear more about this next character.
I guess I can go next. So I've only half fleshed out this character. I kind of had a feeling that all of us guys would potentially gravitate towards male characters, and I wanted to do something a little bit different.
Fantastic.
Probably,
It's good to have a woman to balance out the group.
yep. So probably one of the things that kind of struck me about the the way that the game is set up is kind of the gender roles that kind of come into play, and I got to thinking about what it would be like to be effectively a woman with virtually nothing by way of beauty, wealth, status, and what that would actually do to someone growing up in the old Icelandic times. And so I came up with a character, Un the Crone, and she's an old woman. She has crooked back, stringy white hair, pale face, creased with age. But the one thing she does have going for her is that she is unnaturally gifted in foretelling the fates, which actually turns into kind of the one real source of power that she has. She can't rely on any of the other gifts that might she might have being a woman in this time period, but people both fear and respect her ability to read the fates. So I've decided to go with a Sidkona, and her starting stats are 1 versed because she's old, -1 young because she's old, and frail and not very athletic. She's physically defenseless ultimately. Gendered is going to be 0, and weird is 2. So
You've chosen to be quite powerful in the magic.
I don't even know if it's necessarily like it's not. From what I've read, it's not like magic in the true sense, but it's.
Oh, you think not?
Uh,
Let me ask real quick, just to jump ahead. Did you check the Volva move?
I did check the Volva move.
Yes. If you have that
no.
move, you can tell me what's going to happen, and I make it happen.
Interesting. I might actually change my
magic
choices.
Is quite strong, my friend.
Fair enough. So, so that's what that means. Okay,
Yeah.
so,
I just have to make a quick injunction here.
We're
Yeah.
saying it wrong, right?
You're pronouncing of vulva. It makes you sound like you sound like you're saying somebody's making the vulva move, which means to
Okay,
me
come on.
something completely
Of
different.
course, but we're doing our best here. All right, can you give us the correct
Sorry.
pronunciation?
Yeah, no, yeah, vulva.
Vulva. Okay.
Vulva.
Vulva.
All right. We'll try.
So I've decided to change my character sheet based on that information.
Okay. Well,
There you
before
go.
we get there, let's talk about possessions. You have
Okay.
tattered rags or a rich gown.
Tattered rags for her.
Right.
She has very little wealth, no status in the, I guess, the hamlet or village or whatever we're going to create for her. Farmstead. She is unmarried. Her husband died many years ago. And I'm kind of thinking I haven't fully fleshed out kind of the all backstory of this entire woman's life, but ultimately where she wound up in life later in years is kind of a direct result of kind of the family situation that she was a part of, both as a young woman in the middle age and on into her years. So she is not wealthy.
Rags, it had to be rough, man.
Yeah, no, she did not have a good life, and she's come to realize that her knowledge of kind of the fates is really her one true asset in life, to get what she needs and wants. So she has tattered rags. She is not well dressed. As I described, she has very stringy white hair. She is not someone that you would gaze on for too long. She carries with her sheep knuckle bones carved with runes to foretell the fates. She has a small pouch of herbs, and it says I get a bit of silver, but that kind of goes against the character background that I've...
Oh, you need a bit of silver just to survive.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, she's got a little bit of silver.
Maybe you can earn a little more telling the future. I feel
Yes.
that's a thing you might be possibly able to do.
Yep.
All right, so you get all the basic moves and the female moves, and you get to pick two. Which two would you like to take?
I have a feeling that given, like, in terms of her character, Child of Fate kind of fits in line.
Fantastic.
So when she seeks something she needs, she rolls plus weird. On 10 plus, you will find it, or it will be brought to you. On 7 to 9, it will come to you, but with strings attached, as determined by our fearless leader. And then I have recently decided that she will have vulva. Did I say that right?
Close enough.
I think it's
Close
as
enough.
close as we're going to get.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's clubs the Americans.
When you roll the rune card bones to read the future, roll plus weird. On 10 plus, ask the MC one question and answer the rest yourself. I did not understand what that meant until just now. On 7 to 9, ask the MC two questions, but the rest is hidden. On a miss, the bones predict a terrible misfortune.
Yeah. How strong? How much do you trust your magic there, Seizgona?
It is the only thing that she has to rely upon.
Fantastic.
So it is something that she is going to rely on quite heavily, and the benefits that it brings to those around her, she relies on it to trade for what she needs to survive, or just what she wants.
Yeah. So I mean, you could say, as a child of fate, you could say, "I need a chest of silver." It will make its way to you, but who knows the price that might.
Indeed.
Sure.
Well, I kind of interpret that to mean what you need. And chest of silver, I can see situations in which I absolutely need it, but who knows if that is actually something I need versus something I just actually really, really want.
Fantastic.
So, but anyway. So
let's talk about relationships.
So I had not actually done this until you guys started talking just a little bit a while ago.
That's fine. You didn't have to have it planned out.
Oh, fair enough. Well, so this is what I've kindly got so far. I've only got 3 of the relationships picked out.
Okay.
So first, Unna Crone has acquired the apprenticeship of a young woman. Girny the child is just Girny, and she's a child. She is also a female. She has shown some aptitude for the fates as well. My relationship to her is that I have foreseen her future, and that future is that she will one day inherit my wealth and status.
Does that terrify you, given the fact that you're poor and not well
That
liked?
that is it doesn't say that it'll be my current wealth and status, just that she will inherit whatever it is when I pass on. So, and I kind of left that ambiguous because that could be,
Yeah, that's the
either I formed
best.
a close bond with her and I bequeathed all of my worldly possessions and my status to her, or she just knifed me in the back and took it all.
Fantastic.
So I kind of keep her close, in the notion that I know that her relationship to me will be one that she inherits my belongings in the future, but I do not necessarily know the manner of that transfer. So I kind of keep her close, but also not too close as well.
What more can you tell me about Gurney the child as a person?
So Gurney comes from a family that is not a wealthy family, but has a strong distrust of the fates, and coming from and from her family, she when she began to display any kind of aptitude, and in truth, I don't even know what that would look like in these years. But as she developed this aptitude, there was pretty harsh reprisals from her family trying to push her towards a role that they deemed more fit for her. And so she's had kind of a rough upbringing, and she's kind of latched on to Un the Crone as kind of a second grandmother, or potentially a stepping stone to something greater. Both Un and Girny, the child, both kind of came from rough origins, and it might be that Girny has a much better shot of making something of herself, since she's got a head start alongside of Un the Crone. But
Fantastic.
who knows what the future will bring?
Well, you,
Well, yeah. Well, I am the present. Who
but
knows
you
what the
aren't
future?
telling.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. So the other person that I've kind of fleshed out is that since I've kind of developed a relationship with this child, she this has not made her family terribly happy, and so Thora, who is Gierny's mother, fears me based on kind of the manner in which I have not sequestered, a manner in which I have acquired Gierny's apprenticeship. I haven't. I'll be honest. I haven't fully figured out exactly the entire situation of how that
That's
transpired.
okay.
But
Yeah.
it was not an amicable apprenticeship. Her family and I do not see eye to eye. Specifically, I mean, Un's character represents things which her family fears most, and certainly the path for their child that they did not want her to take. So there is definitely some bad blood there. So yeah, those are two relationships I've got already.
What specific relationship do you have with Thora?
Oh, Thora, this one fears me.
Ah, okay, excellent. Man, that's gonna have some future ramifications.
Yep.
Okay. If you don't have the other relationships ready right now, we can come back to that.
I had lightly considered forming a relationship with Baldur,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't know if this is. Well, I'm debating. I have one that I just can't resist. I have shared this one's bed. And I don't know. That seems like for such an old wizened crone, the whole notion that someone has drunk too much and found their way into their bedchamber
Well, it
is
doesn't have to have
hilarious.
been while she was old.
Yeah, is this? You're saying this is Balder?
Baldur, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It
Yeah.
could have been like he was a senior and she was a junior in high school years ago, type
Uh,
of thing.
yeah, she's actually Baldur has actually said that he's relatively
He's
old.
he is
Actually,
pretty old.
I kind of like the idea that he made a mistake one night, like decades ago, and still paying for it with a continued bond with Un the Crone.
Well, we'll see if it's a mistake or not.
Yeah, that's
He's a
true.
man looking to move up in the world, in a relationship with a powerful Kona could.
I have said absolutely nothing about a relationship. It's just I have shared this one's bed.
Oh, you have a relationship.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
yes,
just not
yeah,
that kind of relationship.
yeah, fair enough.
Not currently. I mean, we'll figure it out.
So yeah, maybe she's got and there's nothing to say that she doesn't still have a feisty streak in her yet.
Oh, of course.
So who knows? And I still haven't decided what I want the fourth relationship to be. Maybe I'll get some ideas after hearing Olaf's character.
All right, Olaf Olafson, son of Olaf,
Son of Olaf.
wielder of the banana sword.
Yeah, that's right. All right, no, he's not a mighty pathfinder, half angel, overpowered new character class. No, not this guy. Yes, I will be playing Olaf Olafsson.
What playbook are you playing there, Huskar?
The Huskarl.
Of course.
Yeah.
What is your appearance?
So Olaf has well earned the title or name of the giant. Olaf Olafsson the giant. He's a towering huge man. He has flaming bright red hair, and he has a shaggy, burned and singed beard from his numerous and constant combats. He wears upon his face an almost manic grin. He is alive. He is truly showing the signs and relish in life. But he's also old. He wears a lot of the scars of battle. So he's going up there in age. He's not exactly a young man anymore, but he's full of that vigor and life. And but he wears it on what borders near insanity. He's too happy. He's too smiley. He's too enthusiastic. And when you look at him, you could tell there's just something a little bit off about him. And he's a true pagan. He worships the moon, and he doesn't deal with the Christianity that is, I guess, not really new in the era, but is more prevalent. And he particularly worships the moon, and seeks solace in the moon as his guide in combat. Definitely, I'm totally okay with.
So, are you a worshiper of the Norse god of the moon, Mani?
Sure, that sounds great. I hadn't gotten that far, and I like it.
I probably butchered that name, but
Mani?
Mani and Sol, gods of the moon and sun.
Máni og sól. But,
Mani
you know.
and Surd. Okay. I'm just trying. Listen, this is how
Can
I
I-
pick up accents, is by horribly butchering it by attempting to copy what people are saying.
Yep. Eventually.
That's how I have such a wide repertoire of bad accents.
Yeah. So.
Talk
So-
about stats.
Yeah, Huskarl, he's got the default template, which is 1 to versed, and then I put my 1 in young, and then 1 to
Okay.
gendered, and then -1 to weird.
Oh, a doomed fate, I see.
That's right. He's gonna have a tough time, but hopefully that vigor will carry him through. So
He's got clothes made of wool and animal furs, a drinking horn, a shirt of mail, plus
That's
one
right.
set of weapons.
a Dane axe and
Oh,
throwing, or Don
yeah.
axe.
So
and
you're like a
throwing
reach
axe.
fighter.
He's a big dude with a big axe.
Excellent. I believe you already mentioned that your moves are the exact same as your comrades. Boasting into Viking.
Yes, boasting and Viking. I wasn't sure how this would work out, but yeah, I was hoping I'd be able to tell boasts about clan mates, but
Yeah, you can boast about other people. They have to be present.
but they have to be present, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so perhaps the other Vikings in my boat. And
So
stuff
I haven't
like that.
mentioned it yet. You guys don't have relationships with. You don't. I mean, you have relationships, but you don't have the mechanical relationship with the men in your boat. But each of you have 4 men, and we're gonna figure out what their names are
All right,
after this. So you could boast about them.
cool.
Be like, oh yes, when me and Floki were out by the water side, he put the bark side down, and I was very impressed by his stacking technique.
Okay.
And the next time he goes to stack bark, he can take a +1 forward on bark stacking.
That's what everybody needs. It might get you through the winter if you stack wood the right way.
For those
You never
wondering
know.
where I keep making this bark stacking joke, apparently in Norway, this is a real TV show where they have, and it's super popular, it's one of the most popular shows, where they talk about cutting, stacking, and storing firewood and almost a quarter of the population ended up watching the show live during discussion and were calling in to tell the moderator either to stack the bark up or down. Google it. That's a real thing. People were super divided about it. There was a Twitter war.
And there's a joke about it in Frozen.
Is there?
There is.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. Probably because you haven't watched it as many times as I have.
Oh man, that's true. I've only seen it 3 times.
That's right, and I've seen it about 150.
That's right. That's right. Of course.
Yeah. Welcome to the life of parenting a 2-year-old girl.
Yeah, of course. I will tell you this though, and Thor knows what I'm about to say. Maybe I started watching Once Upon a Time again. I was about halfway through season 2, and I'm looking forward to reaching season 4 and see how they put Frozen into the Once Upon a Time universe. I'm hoping there's a lot more musicals. Just saying.
There you
That's something
go.
the show could use.
Musicals and TV shows can end up awesome.
Oh man, Gallivant was this season's like #1 musical TV show. So good. You can watch it on Hulu now. Gallivant. All right. Let's talk about relationships.
All right, so I like the one with Balder for sure, so I'm going to keep that for my fought alongside them.
Okay, you also fought alongside. Let's see here. What's it called? I have fought alongside them, and you share a relationship with Balder.
Balder Odinson. That's right. All right, so then I have one relationship, and I also picked a child for this. And I wasn't sure if I covet their affection is appropriate for a parent-child relationship, but
Yeah, why not?
I wanted my son to be the relationship because he's going to carry my Dane axe for me into combat.
So, what is the name of Olafsson?
Would you like to take a guess?
Olaf Olafsson?
That's right.
Okay. I think I'm going to have to notate that this is Olaf Olafsson Jr.
You could put a junior in there.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit more about Olaf Olafsson, son of Olaf Olafsson, son of
That's
Olaf.
right. Olaf Olafsson, son of Olaf Olafsson, is relatively common in appearance. He has black hair and sharp gray eyes, and I didn't actually look at the child playbook. I don't know if I need to or not for an
Nope.
NPC. Okay.
You just tell me.
All right, cool. So, yeah, he's a fairly normal-looking child. He is my first and currently only son, but I do have another relationship where I'm interested in coveting someone else's affection. Can I do more than one covet affection?
You can't pick the same one
Ah,
twice.
dagger. Okay. All right. Well, then, and I will go with they gave me a roof over their head
Okay.
for I wrote her name down and then I moved it. Oh no. Bertie Hallison. All right, she is a
Halid's daughter?
shield. What's that?
Is it Halid's daughter?
Hallison? I don't know. Is there
It
already an
wouldn't be
NPC?
son, because that would indicate that you were married to a man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So it's Bertie Halid's daughter?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Tell me more about Bertie Halid's daughter. How did you end up sharing a roof with this woman?
I honestly don't know that I know enough about the culture to know how that would happen naturally, but perhaps there was some sort of death that I helped her with, through prowess in combat, saved her for perhaps another Vikinging where she was lost and I brought her back and returned her, and we have some sort of mutual relationship that I've been growing on her, but I'm not sure.
How does your son feel about Bertie?
I would assume they have a fairly good relationship.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a quick Icelandic history lesson.
What's that?
Who wants a quick Icelandic history lesson?
Oh, I do.
Let's do it.
Always.
Fill in some gaps here.
So the thing is, most of the people that actually left Norway for various reasons to go to Iceland were men. And obviously,
There were not enough women. Yeah.
there were not enough women. A large reason for many of the raids was, in fact, to go to Britain, Ireland, and Scotland and those places to, well, let's just say it like it is.
Bring back
Pick
Frost.
up the to get the best looking woman you could find, bring her back, and say, "Hey, you're my wife now." So that is one of the quite popular approaches at this time and age to get a wife.
Sounds like
Sure.
Olaf Olafsson didn't take that approach, though.
That's okay. I like that. I'm
Oh.
interested in fulfilling my traditional gender roles with this character. I think that would be
So how did
completely
she
in
come
line.
to have a house here that she gave you a roof for it?
Hmm. Let's see. What's the nature of like blood feuds and duels? Could I have won it in a duel? Like, could I have
Well, it's her
been
house, right? Because
right? It's
she's
her
giving
house.
you a roof over your head.
You could totally have killed her Viking husband and just taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
one.
All right. But she has a good relationship with you now, even though you murked her husband.
Well, let's assume he wasn't a good husband.
Let's also
Oh.
assume that maybe that husband was the one who raided her and brought her back from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're
Exactly.
offering her some measure of freedom.
Right.
Interesting.
And so that's why I was looking for the I covet their affection, thinking that it's not necessarily it's a tenuous relationship, right? Because there's some notion of well, it's not necessarily ownership and it's not necessarily debt, but there's an unspoken relationship that needs to be resolved in some way.
Oh, okay. All right. But she likes your kid.
Right, and I think perhaps he's the means to that end, right? Because Olaf Olafsson, whose mother has died, is now stuck following me around, dragging my axe into battle because there's nowhere else that I could really leave him. And so now that Bertie is there, it's perhaps another option for him, and yet he still follows me into battle. So
So Bertie or Bertie's daughter? I'm still confused by that.
I don't know
I thought her name was Bertie Halledotter.
is that an appropriately Icelandic female name?
Sounds pretty
Yeah,
female-ish to me.
All right.
but that's the thing, though. You can always have an inappropriate female name be just like, your wife's name is insert English name here
Yeah.
because that's where she was stolen from.
That's true.
Oh yeah, I just didn't want to. That's a good point. I just didn't want to accidentally call her like Robert because I didn't know the right name. That's all.
Okay. Do you have a fourth relationship ready?
No, I don't.
All right. Let's jump back to Oon the Crone. Do you have a fourth relationship ready?
Um, after hearing that kind of backstory, I've kind of used up 3 of the 7 or 8 that I can use.
Yep.
Can I choose a relationship now and then not actually specify the backstory behind it?
Yeah, I'll
Or-
allow for that.
Okay, so I mean, I want to share a secret with one of the characters
Excellent.
in.
You'll notice it doesn't say, unlike See the Future, this one doesn't say you have to tell me about it.
Yeah,
You
so
share a secret.
I share a secret with. Let's go ahead and say Birdie.
Oh, okay. You share
Hey,
a secret with Bertie
hey.
Halledotter.
Women talk, you know.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's a thing.
An age-old thing.
Yeah. It turns out men talk as well. People talk.
Right?
Yeah, but men talk loudly.
Oh man. I feel like we're already stepping into the
Such
gender
an app.
roles for
That's
this.
such, yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Oh,
gonna
like
say.
this is
Please
the.
don't sue me.
I actually meant that in terms of the. Both of you have the boasting trait.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
come on. This
Right,
is-
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talk loudly and
Oh no, Olaf is the guy that you hear first when the boat is coming in.
I caught the fish. It was this long and it had 100 pieces of silver in it.
Oh no, you hear Olaf singing of the moon, howling on the winds, her name.
It sounds like at some point you're gonna take Berserker.
Well, no, he's not. He's not angry. He's singing
No,
joyfully to
Berserker
the
is
moon.
if you run into combat while screaming, you force everyone around you to endure grave harm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Check
maybe
that
I will.
move out for future advancement.
Maybe we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a final pick, Olaf Olafsson, for your relationships?
Um. Hmm. Oh yeah, I can do. I would not trust them with a weapon.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
All right. So I
Please say your
have.
son.
What's that?
Please say your son.
Yeah, right. I do not trust my son with the weapon that I make him carry behind me. No.
How old is
Uh.
your son? I don't think we've ever covered that.
Uh.
I was under the impression he was quite young, but you're saying he carries weapons?
He carries my weapon into battle for me.
Whoa, he's got to be pretty old then, right?
No, he's like 8. Yeah. No. The
You let
idea
your
is.
8-year-old follow you, and you take him on raids with you?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
telling you, my character is insane. He's supposed to be
Oh
crazy.
man. Okay, fantastic. Who is it that you
Hey,
don't trust with a weapon?
Thor, did you have some comment to say?
hey, I'm just saying, according to the sagas, there are people like, let's see, it's Skallagrimsson. He killed his first man at what, age 5, I think?
Oh wow. I like the idea that this isn't going to be the story of Olaf Olafsson. It's going to be the story of Olaf Olafsson Jr. And this is
Right.
just this is the backstory for him.
Yep.
His
Yeah, when my
dad dies
character
and he takes up the Dane axe.
exactly the horrible, horrible death of his father.
This is Phantom Menace. We need to get a new hope.
So yeah, so I
Yeah,
had
six or seven. That's when he got his first proper kill. But they say he killed somebody at 5 during a sporting event after somebody tackled him hard, and he retaliated by taking an axe to his head.
Seems
ouch.
pretty justifiable.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the other dude was totally, too hard in tackling him.
Who is it that you would not trust with a weapon, Olaf
So
Olafsson?
I have a friend called Heidi Holdbasin, and he was a friend from the village from when I was younger, and he had gone off and been more of a trader, but he is wrongly sought after by a goatee for smuggling, and while I've known him for a long time, I wouldn't trust him behind my back.
Okay, interesting. So now our two Huskarls each need to pick the names for 4 raiders who travel with them on their boat. Just any 4 names. Just it could even just be first names if you don't want to.
Let's go with first names now, and I'll
Okay.
think of family names later. We're gonna have Egil. We're gonna have Thorfinnur. We're gonna have Bald. No, wait, that's my name. We're gonna have Njal, and we're going to have uh, Grimur.
Okay. And Olaf, what men do you bring with you when you go a Viking?
Let me tell you what, I'm hitting up John like a beast for this random Norse name generator. I got 4 though.
All right.
Asgarder, Atlin, Meekly, and Oldun.
Ausgerder is a female name.
Oh, is it?
That doesn't preclude from going to
Yeah.
raiding. Anyone
Yep.
could go a Viking.
She can
Hey,
Good.
do
Shield
that.
Maiden.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let me make sure she's a female when I make my notes because I don't want to be talking about how well she pees in the woods or something.
Well,
What was
I don't
What was
know
the-
why she could still pee in the woods really well. It
I mean,
just would be the same way as you.
All right.
Is
So
that something you feel like you're going to be talking about a lot?
I have
it's going to
no
be more
idea.
impressive if she can spell her name in the snow.
Okay, I have a couple of questions for all of you, which you can answer collectively. Uh, this farmstead, it sounds like there's only one goatee, right? He has a longhouse and some land upon which you live. Um, does this area around you, does it have fields, marshland, water? Is it next to the ocean, or is it near wilderness? Again, that's fields, marsh, water, sea and wilderness.
I feel like sea is most appropriate for the
Sea
Vikings.
Yeah, you've got 2 longboats. It'd be really impressive if you managed to go raiding when you're landlocked in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could
Yeah.
pick non-ocean and be, like up the river or something.
Okay.
We could do
But-
that.
I'm open for either. I'm just
So
discussing.
you're picking sea and water?
Whichever.
Yeah, you can pick 2. So we'll go with sea and water. So you have like a fishing village. So now I get to do some cool stuff where I mess with the players and make them do stuff while I sit back and laugh. Why don't you guys, on this nice, beautiful map we hear, using these powerful map drawing tools from Roll20, why don't you draw me the bay or river you live next to and where that longhouse is?
I assume we're doing a top-down view. We're not doing
Oh,
a
yeah,
portrait
top-down.
landscape.
Oh yeah, topographical relief, please, with appropriate indicators of
Of gradients.
gradient. Thank
Don't
you.
forget to put a key at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Well,
so let me
In-
ask, what do you guys see? Oh, I see. So there's a river up already.
Well,
in
that-
true
I
Pathfinder
was actually going to-
society,
No.
north will have to be to the left.
Man, that's a great joke.
What scale are we operating on here?
It sounds like this village has about 20 to 30 people, and not village, but farmsteading.
So we're probably talking about 1 longhouse and maybe 5 to 10 homes.
Oh, there's going to be quite a few homes, right? Because
Yeah.
most of you don't live together.
Oh, that's true. I mean, and you said
I
like
assume
30.
that the Huskarls or their raiders might live at the longhouse with the goatee, but he's probably the man that runs everything.
Yeah.
So do Baldur and I can you have more than one Huskarl for one goatee?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
you usually
So-
have way more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
You got,
So,
you got like
You are
3 or
sworn
4
to carry
guys.
his burdens.
Right, that's right. I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Like if you only have 1 or 2, then you're like a really backwater goalie. You need to have a couple of guys in case your next door neighbors come and say like, "Hey, we want your land."
Okay. So there's there's Huskarls, and aren't there guys under Huskarls though, like our 4
Yeah,
Viking
those are
boat
your
guys?
raiders.